That night, my heart brought to my mind the shovel I was inspired to buy about 4 months ago, but I had no use for it at the time, so I decided to store it in my basement. And I just sat there, collecting dust, waiting patiently for the day I would be intuitively guided to go get it from out of the basement. Still had no idea why the shovel came to mind, so I just placed it upstairs next to the dining room chair and figured the reason would come to me eventually. Then a few days passed, you see, and finally my heart said to me, take the shovel and go dig a hole in the backyard big enough to bury a body. Make it 6 feet deep and long enough to fit a guy about 6'3". I couldn't believe what my heart was saying to me. I thought maybe I was crazy, losing my sanity, watching too many Netflix documentaries maybe lately, but I had this fear that my heart was being sincere and that a mind game my higher self wasn't playing. So I just did what I was told, even though I felt like I was being guided by the devil. I went outside and still dug a hole. I just prayed that it was God who was guiding my soul, and all he told me was to go sit on the porch and be still and watch the hole. And the reason for this, you will know. Again, I just did what I was told, even though I felt like I was being guided by the devil. I walked to my porch, sat still, and watched the hole. Lo and behold, I see a guy about 6'3", and with him he carries a body. He turns and looks at me. His face I have never before seen, but for some reason he feels familiar. In some ways he resembles the shadow of me. Anyway, before he could say anything, my heart pulled my body away from the porch, and this gave him the okay that with me his secret is safe. Inside of the hole I dug the body he placed. Not one word did he say, but I could sense it was his heart that guided him all this way. I could sense somehow we were intended to meet during our life's journeys. So anyway, once the body he placed, I just helped him use the dirt to cover it. When we finished, I took another look at his face and had an epiphany that he was the guy we just buried. Immediately, with mud all over both our hands and face, I hugged him so tightly and he began to cry. And the only thing my heart told me to say was that if you hadn't killed him, he would have destroyed you before you could get to me. And in that same moment, I had another epiphany that the only way my heart would have known he would be on the way with a dead body is if I had the soul of the man who died that day.